When you're ready to continue, please stand up. We're going to start with some neck work. So we're actually going to, instead of jumping right into neck cars, we're going to look at flexion, extension, side bending, and rotating, and we'll put it all together. So you want to make sure that you don't bring your shoulders or your rib cage along for either of these movements. We want to start by bringing our chin down to our chest, but to flex the higher section of our neck, the first move is actually to bring the chin backwards, as if you're squeezing your voice box. And then start dragging your chin down to your chest. And avoiding any pain or pinches, I want you to keep squeezing back and down until you experience a mild stretch along the back of your neck. And then start to reach the base of your skull backwards, so your eyes are forward, and our chin is still squeezing the voice box. And we're going to move the neck all the way into extension, lifting the forehead toward the ceiling, and putting as many creases in the back of the neck as you can. Very important here, you do not move into pinches or pain. We're just going to do this a couple more times. So we want to flex up high in the neck first by squeezing the voice box, and then drag the chin into the collarbones to get the entire neck into flexion. Find a little stretch here, and then bring the neck into extension. Try to begin with the lower neck, reaching the base of the skull back, and then releasing the pressure on your voice box and lifting your chin to the sky. Let's go one more time. Chin squeezing voice box and sinking into the chest. So you can find a stretch in the back of your neck. Base of the skull tips back. Chin releases off the voice box and up to the sky. All right, next up we're going to go into side bending with rotation. So for this one, shoulders may go like this. We don't want that to happen, so keep those shoulders down. And we're going to lean the ear to the left shoulder. And if you have any pinching on this side, stop before your pinch or back away from the pinch. We want to feel stretching on this side. Wherever you're at, hold the position of the lean, and you're going to turn your head as if you're looking into your back pocket. So we add rotation to this lateral flexion. Then rotate your eyes forward again, and bring your ear all the way to the opposite side. So eyes are forward, right ear toward right shoulder. Avoid pinches. If you find a pinch, just back away so you don't feel it anymore. And then turn your skull, but keep the lean to the right. Look into your back pocket, turning as far as you can. If you encounter a pinch during rotation of the head, just like before, avoid that pinch. Turn your eyes forward again, and we're going to do this a couple more times. Ear all the way over to your left. Rotate the skull, look into the back pocket. Rotate the eyes forward, and continue, ear to the right. As far as you can without pain or pinching. Rotate. Try to look even farther into that pocket if you feel safe doing that. Eyes turn forward. And last time through, left ear to left shoulder. If you can't go any farther, hold position, rotate the head. Look into the back pocket. Turn the eyes forward. And last time to the right. Ear toward right shoulder. Rotate, look into the back pocket. Eyes forward. Center out the head. We're going to do now one neck car in each direction. When you begin the neck car, so like what we just did, it kind of covered the 4 places that we see the head going in the neck car. So when you bring your chin down, it's the same way we practiced just before. Go ahead, jaw shut, shoulders down, squeeze your voice box, and bring the chin toward the chest. Keep the chin squeezed in the chest and the voice box, and rotate. Lead with your chin. You're going to try to look into the back pocket on the left side. When you can't go any farther, tip your ear toward that back pocket, eyes kind of looking forward, and then we're going to rock the head back forehead to the ceiling, crease the back of the neck, and rotate the skull around. So you can turn and dip that chin down toward your right shoulder. Squeeze it down into the collarbones and voice box and come back to the center of your chest. Once you're centered out, switch directions. We're going to go one more time the opposite way. Remember, these should be pain and pinch free. Trace that reverse path around the same way you came. Finishing back in front. From here, we'll go into scapular cars. So we're going to do these in a couple places. For today, we're going to reach both hands out in front, making fists, but I want your hands slightly wider than your shoulder width. It just makes it a little easier. So what we're going to do is stay in the zone of protraction, which is shoulder blades forwards. So go ahead, and without curving your spine at all, just reach your fists as far away from you as you can. You'll feel your shoulder blade glide forward along the rib cage. Now maintain this reaching effort and just shrug up and anti-shrug down. Take it slow, move at your own pace. We're going to do this for about 20 seconds. So the goal is to stay in a forward reach and explore how high you can shrug and how low you can anti-shrug, maintaining forward reach. Give it one more rep up and down. Okay. If you have a dowel, for this next one a dowel could be handy. So we're going to hold a dowel at about shoulder width or slightly wider. If you don't have a dowel, just make your hands to the fists. You'll be all good. We're going to hold that dowel just behind us. And now we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to try to shrug and anti-shrug in a position of shoulder blade retraction or shoulders back toward the spine. So what we're going to do is reach the arms as far behind us as we can, whether or not we have a dowel. And we want to try to maintain this angle here. So as you continue, you may notice your arms drifting toward your body. Keep them away. Now, retract your shoulders. Reach your fists farther away from your body and feel your shoulders glide into your spine. Keep that retraction and start shrugging and anti-shrugging. I'm going to shrug up, anti-shrug down. My goal is to keep my shoulder blades as close to my spine as I can. Keep my hands far away from my body. Just like the front side, we're going to do about 20 seconds. Nice and slow, at your own pace, explore how high you can shrug and how low you can anti-shrug from this position of retraction. Go for one more. And then set your dowel aside. Grab a couple of lacrosse balls, tennis balls instead. If you don't have these objects, just make fists. That's fine. We're going to do bilateral shoulder cars, and we're going to try to do this from a little bit of a middle split stance. I know you can't see my legs, but I'm going to spread my feet moderately wide. I want you to reach a point where you almost feel a stretch. Like if you were to go farther, you would feel a stretch. But right now, you don't really. What I want you to do from this position with your legs is try to squeeze the floor with your feet to hold some tension in your inner thighs. See if you can maintain that effort for 2 shoulder cars. You're going to squeeze the objects in your fists and turn your palms to face up. Cross your arms over each other and begin lifting. We want the body frozen and only the arms to move, so take your time and keep the awareness broad. When you're stuck overhead, we turn the palms and the entire arm out that way. We continue to turn the arm over as we reach wide and behind us. Your goal is to trace a path through the outer limits of your shoulder's range of motion. You will arrive at your hip with your palm facing out. Reverse directions, reach straight back. When you get stuck, notice my hands are not here, right? I'm still in line with my shoulders. I'm going to externally rotate, so I'm going to turn my palms up and try to point my thumbs back. I'm going to keep drawing out my circle, still turning my arms this way. Biceps float back to my ears, crisscross in front of me, and back down. One more. Crossing over again. Biceps come to the ears. Stay tight up here. Rotate out. Maintain that effort. Continue to rotate. Keep rotating. Even when you arrive at your hip, you're still rotating. And that rotation continues all the way into here as we reach back. When you're stuck in the back, that's when we switch our rotation, turning the biceps and arms out. Still turning out, pulling back toward your thumbs, float the arms to the ears, crisscross and come down. Cool. We can extract ourselves from this mid-split stance. We're going to go briefly into elbow and wrist cars, do them both bilaterally. So, hold your biceps in against your sides and squeeze the balls. Turn your forearms and palms up and out. Maintain that effort and flex your elbow. At the top, turn the forearm and palm down and extend your elbow. Every time I ask you to turn, can you initiate here and let the hand follow? Palms up and out, bend. Palms down, straighten. Stay in palm down position, rebend. Turn the palms up and out, again from the elbow. Straighten. Two more. Rotate down. This is pronation of the forearm and bend. Still squeezing the balls, right? Palms up. Last one, extend. Alright, so this one's going to be a little tricky. We're going to do a little different position for the wrist car. We're going to go palms down. And we want this tendony part of our wrist facing down because we do not want the forearm to change its position. So if you look during that wrist car and you notice that forearm's facing in now, you moved and rotated your elbow. So you want to keep the pale part of the wrist facing down. Go out to your pinkies and pull back towards you like you're revving two motorcycles. Into the thumbs, squeeze down toward the floor. Check your forearms. Still should be in the same spot. Out to your pinkies, back towards your body, into your thumbs, down, and right around here we'll change direction. So we'll come back to our thumbs, rev the motorcycle, out to the pinkies, down to the floor. Keep looking at your wrists and forearms. We need the forearms facing down while the fists draw circles. Harder than it sounds. Finish out this second rep, and then you can place your objects aside. We're not going to do a whole lot of spine today, so we'll spend a little bit of time doing Jefferson curls, body weight. So a Jefferson curl is first spine flexion and then hip flexion. So if you guys remember the wall peel drill, it's going to start like a wall peel. So I need everyone to flex their thighs and squeeze their butt cheeks. I need your glutes squeezed until I cue you to release. So picture an imaginary wall right behind you. Imagine how your spine is stacked vertically on itself. Begin at the top of the stack and remove the first bone from the stack by peeling it away from the wall. Do your best to visualize removing one bone at a time off that stack, curling your spine. You're bringing your chin towards your belt, but your butt is still squeezed. And you're going to reach a point where you can't go any lower. You cannot flex your spine anymore. When you reach that point, let your glutes go and hinge through your hips and reach down for the floor. When we're down, we're going to hold for 2 breaths, and we're going to use that big exhale we practiced at the beginning. So deep inhale, full exhale. Even one more like that. When we stand up, we're going in reverse order. So we're going to keep the spine flexed and try to bring the pelvis to a level position. When you achieve level pelvis, you should be able to squeeze your glutes again. Once you get to that point, glutes squeeze, we're going to restack the spine as deliberately as we can, 1 vertebrae at a time. When we get to the top, we're just going to try to stretch our body out by reaching both arms as high as we can to the ceiling. And taking another big breath. Full exhale. Relax your arms down. We're going to do this a couple more times. Visualize the stack of your spine and peel, curling off that stack. Remember to keep your glutes squeezed until you have reached the limit of spine flexion. Once you get to that point, release your glutes and fold your body in half, reaching as low to the floor as you can. Let it hang down here. Try to relax. Give me a couple deep breaths. Keep your spine flexed and begin resetting your pelvis. Imagine bringing your belt buckle to a level position, pointing straight ahead. Squeeze your glutes when you hit that point. And restack your spine bone by bone until you're as tall as you can be. Once your eyes are forward and your head is stacked, then reach your arms overhead. Take another breath up here. We're going to do one more. Drop the arms, tuck the chin, and go for that last rep, curling the spine. Segmentally moving through until we get to the hips, and then we release the glutes and fold the body in half. Now, if you're feeling pretty comfortable down here, I want you to try to reach lower, to actively compress during your exhale. And then reset. Once you stack the head over the shoulders, give your arms one last reach to the ceiling, and take another breath up top. All right, we're going to move to the ground.